Week 12 kicks off tomorrow. Let's get some first impressions. Lewis, what are you going to tell me about Patrick Mahomes?
Well, Patrick has to play the best game of his career. Period. Okay, against the Colts. Best game of your career. Okay, look, he is 26th right now in CPOE, completion percentage above expected. That's just not where he belongs. He has got to hit some of these big shots that they're calling early on. He admitted it himself. He missed a couple throws that he makes in his sleep. He has to make sure he hits those. Against the Colts defense right now, that is sixth best in the NFL in terms of QBR allowed to opposing quarterbacks, and has 10 interceptions on the season. Patrick, best game of your career this week.
I'd be lying if I said it takes one more week.
Take one more week to get hot. One more. Give me another one.
Sneaky big game for the Buccaneers. All season we've been like, well, the Bucs are going to win the NFC South. They're good, and Mayfield's going to be a high, MVP candidate. Guess what? The Panthers are coming. Panthers have won a couple games in a row, both against the Packers and the Falcons. Bryce Young, career high.
Yes.
Rams are not an easy opponent, but this needs to be a must-win for the Buccaneers if they want to win that NFC South.
I love it. And then, Domonique, how about the biggest game of the weekend on Sunday?
There's football, and then there's playoff football, and we are entering the playoffs.
Tell them,
the
Greeny.
Cowboys, they can't lose. And I know that the Eagles are better. I'm not going to argue that they aren't. But the divisional familiarity, I think, makes this game close. They only beat them by 4 last time without George Pickens. So we got us a game without Quinnen Williams, without this new defense. Hey, Jeff, don't look at me like that. We got us a game, and them boys is back in town.
Tell him, Greeny. How about them Cowboys?
Speaking of the Cowboys, as you may have seen, Stephen A. Smith, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Our show ends. We have a delightful day. I'm feeling good about everything. I'm in there taking my makeup off, and Pete McConville comes running in and says, Stephen A. is crushing you right now on first take. You got to go in there. So I go running in there on first take, and this is what happened.
I just want to thank all my colleagues at ESPN this morning for making me laugh. Mike Greenberg made me so proud this morning. I watched him sit up there, and he was making such a big deal of the Cowboys. And I looked at Greeny, and I said, is this Get Up or is this Entertainment Tonight? You would have thought the Cowboys played somebody. They're playing the Raiders. You're very good, you. You are very good, you. Oh, my Lord, you perfection this morning.
Will you all just say with me, how about them Cowboys, Stephen A.?
You were on national television?
Yes.
Talking to America at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Did you see the Cowboys? I would encourage everybody in Dallas to watch Get Up. Watch today. Find today's Get Up. Go watch Get Up. There is no one better than you.
Keep saying
I just want to say that Greeny's got us all thinking, what if they win those 3 games?
What if they do?
What if they? See?
Yes.
See?
What if they do?
Plan on double duty. You're going to be right here Monday.
What the hell have I done here?
That was
That's
awesome.
what happened. And Jeff, you were there. And so, listen,
Beauty. No lies were told either. No lies were told.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ride this, and I'll tell you why. And my gut feelings, as anyone who has been watching or listening to me for all these decades knows, my gut feelings are almost always wrong. But I have a feeling the Cowboys are going to win this game Sunday against the Eagles. And if they do, and who was it that was sitting right here yesterday who said it? I think it was Dan Graziano who said, don't let them beat the Eagles, because then you just never know. And I think I have found a like-minded companion in Louis Riddick.
Look, all right, let's just be objective about this. I understand that the Raiders' offensive line, look, it's not good. We saw that on Monday night. But when you it's not good.
I respect it.
But you have to understand. Look, I think we've all said in the months of November and December the problems with the Cowboys have been up front, especially inside, right down the middle of their defense. Did you see how Quinnen Williams looked the other night? Did you see those 1.5 sacks? Did you see those 5 quarterback hits? Those multiple pressures? Did you see how him and Kenny Clark looked together? Did you see DeMarvion over showing how he was coming downhill? Did you see how Logan Wilson was coming downhill? This is not the same defense. Look, I am someone who will give it to the Cowboys as well as anyone when they aren't playing good. But right now, this defense looks different, and it looks different up front. They're playing with a different level of ferocity. They are establishing the line of scrimmage, reestablishing the line of scrimmage. This is a huge test for them against Philadelphia. As much as we have banged on their offensive line, this is a huge test. This is a step up in level of competition. No question about it. No question. But look, we've also been on this show, hey, Jeff Saturday, when we've been talking about the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line not being the same as it was a year ago. Okay, so let's not act like all of a sudden now, like they've been, you know what I'm saying? It's not the same. Look, Dallas looks different. This is a huge game this week.
Yeah.
I'm starting to believe a little bit, Greeny.
Okay, I got one. I had Schrager at the game. You're doing the sidelines, Monday Night Football, or not sidelines for that game, but you're there all night in the building. Thoughts?
Cowboys have some juice, Green.
Have some juice.
Cowboys have some juice.
I will take
They're
it.
walking off the bus into Vegas. First of all of Vegas was Cowboys fans and people there for the Bravo event. I don't know what that was, but the Cowboys fans,
BravoCon,
they were BravoCon. They were all there. The Cowboys fans invaded Vegas.
It was
in such a way.
BravoCon?
It was BravoCon and it was CowboysCon, and that was Vegas this weekend.
word.
And then there was SchragerCon because I was
actually,
there.
it was RaiderCon.
And RaiderCon was not there. That might
was
be a
the
con.
con.
That's an absolute con.
Okay,
Let me explain.
So
Let's
the
get the wordplay.
The point is,
they got off that bus, and I don't want to take it to the thing. They're all wearing the Marshawn Nealon shirts.
Right.
They're all in the same boat, and I start talking to Quinn and Williams pregame. I start talking to Dak, and I was there 2 weeks ago when they played Arizona, and that was the nadir of the season. That was the very low of the season, and I was like, I don't think they're going to win tonight. Brissett is going to, and they didn't. Going into that game, 10 minutes before kickoff, 9 minutes before kickoff, I'm like, the Cowboys would beat the 76 Steelers tonight. That's how much juice they had. They felt so good about what they had going on. And yes, CD and George Pickens missed the first drive, and you're like, oh, here we go, same old Cowboys. They get back on the field, they look unstoppable, and then you see Shoddy playing. Like, I feel like the Cowboys season turned at the trade deadline, and I think this traumatic event that happened in that locker room might have sparked something where, you know what, screw everybody else. This is about us. Let's go, and let's rally around each other. They were not losing to anyone on Monday night. I don't care how bad the Raiders were.
Yeah, we're seeing they emerge from tragedy a much more together team. And beyond that, though, on the football field, the defensive additions, just guys coming back from injury, huge. Quinn and Williams, and then getting Logan Wilson, those are huge additions. But again, division games are always tricky, especially those two. The Cowboys are at home. And credit to Brian Schottenheimer keeping this unit all together as a team. They really, it is a different Cowboys team. I'm not saying that's guaranteeing a victory because the Eagles are the better team, but.
Jeffrey, can I see your skepticism, which I'm already aware of, and match it with A36?
A36?
Show Jeff
I know what this
A36.
is.
Jeff, will you mind reading for me what Cindy is about to put up on the screen? What is
Career
Dak?
record at home for Dak Prescott versus the NFC East.
What is it?
21-2.
What is it? The last time he
The
lost
last
a home game?
loss was 2017, and they are 6-1 versus the Eagles at home.
Oh, wow.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Oh, I'm saying there's a chance.
Okay, listen. I am not trying to wet blanket this whole thing.
Yes, you are.
I am not. I understand the excitement around what the Cowboys did. I actually love the additions that they made. I said this at the trade deal. I think they will be a much better team. I think they'll be a much better team at the end of the season.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to be good enough to get you where everybody thinks they're going to go. Do they have a shot against the Eagles? Absolutely, because in division, all those things happen. I think the Eagles are a better team overall, and I think ultimately if the Eagles play well and the Cowboys play well, the Eagles win. But Lane Johnson injury for me is the biggest question mark for me.
Let me get Neek in.
So, I mean, I'm on the hype train with you guys. However, what does give me a little trepidation is they were not going up against a functional offense on Monday night.
Somebody,
so I don't
say that loud.
You went back and watched it again.
Yeah,
That's true.
I wanted to say that the whole Cowboys defense was improved, but we didn't get a look at the whole Cowboys defense because they could not block. And
At
if
all.
you can't block at all, we don't get to see whether their coverage is improved. We don't get to see how they attack the ball in the air deep downfield. Like those things we didn't get to see. So I think what gives me hope is how good that offense is. You made this point yesterday. We only got to get this defense to mediocre.
you know what?
Can we
with
just
that
say,
offense.
can we just be honest? Like, they ran the ball like 10 times.
Oh, they didn't even try.
And they did, and they ran it into looks where they were out leveraged. Like literally, they didn't have enough players on the same sides that they were trying to run. So when you're being kind when you say they didn't get a good look, that is a scout team look. Like that's literally what that is. They set them up for success at every point.
As much as that is the case, and you're right. Look, the Raiders' offensive line sometimes looked like there were maybe 5 practice squad guys out there.
Right.
Let's run through these quick today.
Yes.
Would K-Mart be shocked? Would you be shocked if Josh Allen and the Bills somehow missed the playoffs?
I'd be very shocked if that happened. Listen, Josh Allen, James Cook, and that entire O-line deserve to be in the playoffs. If they do not make the playoffs, we have to have a very uncomfortable conversation about Buffalo and how they haven't taken advantage of a weak AFC East and Lamar and the Ravens and the Bengals all being down at various points.
I'm with you. Next one, would K-Mart be shocked if Bo Nix and the Broncos find themselves in the AFC title game?
Greeny, I would not be shocked. Listen, plain and simple, this team has everything it needs. It has all the pieces, the QB. Look at how they played. Defense, I love this team. I don't know if they'll get there, but I would not be shocked if they do.
And then finally, how about the team you just saw this week? Would you be shocked if the Steelers hang on and win that division?
I hate to say this, because Mike Tomlin, I'd hate to see the look he would give me, but I'd be shocked if they did. You know why? Because unlike the Ravens, who have won 4 in a row, the Steelers had control of the division, and they've just been erratic. They've been up and down, Jekyll and Hyde, until they can show that they're the team that can beat the Colts and the Patriots and not lose to the Bengals and all these other teams. I think it's hard to know exactly what Steelers team we're seeing.
Well, and we also have the situation with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Mike Tomlin confirming yesterday that Rodgers is not going to need surgery for a fractured left wrist. He's not yet been ruled out for Sunday against the Bears. If Rodgers can't go, Mason Rudolph would get the start. He looked good. We've all seen Mason Rudolph play for years. A solid backup, obviously. So a good option in the event that Rodgers can't go. Again,
Yes.
K-Mart, you were there. You have a better sense. What is your sense of Rodgers' availability?
So I think Mike Tomlin's going to drag this out until Friday just to get a sense of where Rodgers is. But I can tell you, being at that game, being in that post-game locker room, the sense I got was Rodgers would have to, he would tourniquet, he would cast, he would do anything he could to make it so that he could play against the Bears. This is a team that, based on his days with the Packers, he has clearly loved going against the Bears. I still own you and all that. But he wanted to go back in that game. He was upset that he couldn't, but it was doctors said, no, you're sitting out. I have a hard time believing that if Aaron Rodgers, as the sense I've been given is that he will do everything he can to play, I have a hard sense believing that Mike Tomlin will not play him if.
And what did you say in our meeting this morning,
Bro's
Kev?
going to play. Bro is going to play. I would have the shocked face that we put up for K-Mart and dude don't play. For all the things about Aaron Rodgers, he is a tough cat, and he wants to be on the field. Yeah. He does not want to be known as an injury-prone player. Mm-hmm. He has a ton of pride and that kind of stuff, and I think he does whatever it takes to get on the field.
Yeah, it sounds like Mike, as Kimberley is alluding to, is leaving it up to Aaron. And he'll let the week play itself out. Like Aaron has earned the right to kind of take his time and kind of give you then his self-assessment of where he feels at the end of the week. Although I will say this, look, Mason Rudolph is the quintessential definition of what a backup is. He can hold the fort down for a game or two. He obviously is not a long-term answer. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone out and got Aaron Rodgers the way they did. We all know that. But I think, when you're looking at this bigger picture, can Mason lead them to a win this week if he has to start? Absolutely he can. And Mike has full trust in that.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of expectations on Aaron Rodgers. If it's just pain, he'll probably play. The problem with the Aaron Rodgers question is we are assuming that if he shows up that this offense is going to be effective. It has not been all that effective all season long, whether he's hurt or not. I think the pain won't keep him from playing, but I think his aversion to contact, and we understand why he has an aversion to contact, and these things break a little easier. I think that's part of it. But the problem is I think we have lower expectations for him based on his age. And the NFL does not have a senior tour. We can't grade it on a curve. I agree. Aaron Rodgers, incredible for a 41-year-old quarterback. But he's not the level of quarterback that they need right now considering where that team is placed.
So let's be clear. It's not his throwing hand. It's this hand. And it's really about receiving the football, receiving the snap, being able to hold on to it, the pain, the issue. How does he, I guess, Jeff, my question to you is, how that quarterback where you have an offense that's not really in sync right now with a quarterback who even you're worried about receiving the snap, how do you feel about him playing in that game?
No, I think if he goes, hey, man, I can do it, he's taking enough snaps, you understand what you're going to get. And so the way that he receives the snaps, however he has to take his hand to take the pressure off the wrist, these guys are smart enough they'll figure that part out. But I do think for all of our toughness, there is something that pain does to all of us, and it can make you make bad decisions, make you hurry, changes the timing and the clock in your head. That's where Tomlin is going to have to balance this, right? Because there's a point where you're a detriment to your team if you start getting rid of the ball out of sequence when you need to be taking a shot and instead you're not. I think those are the things Tomlin will have to manage as he gets either in the game or before the game. Because again, if Mason Rudolph can get you through this one, give him 2 weeks. That's what you would.
I think that. Look, I think Jeff just hit it on the head. That's what you're worried about. The extended plays, the second, the second reaction type throws. He's not going to want to do that. I wouldn't want to fall on the ground.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be thinking, can I put my left hand down and brace myself or not?
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, this ball is out of here.
Yeah.
It's going somewhere. It ain't staying with me. And I don't know if you want him in that kind of situation.
Yeah, when you put the expectations on a quarterback like that, they'll probably put a cast or something to protect from the brace. He'll probably be on some sort of painkillers. To your point, the pain won't be the problem, but what the pain does to the way that you think about playing the game will impact you. The decisions that he's going to make in that game, already in a situation where he's getting rid of the ball really quickly, those decisions will be sped up.
Let's say this about the Bears, though. He likes the style that the Bears on defense. And so that also, let me just tell you, that's tempting for a quarterback, right? To know that you could come out and have,
The Bears' defense has been a lot of turnovers, is like driven the success they have.
That's right.
Aaron Rodgers, obviously, historically, not a turnover.
That's exactly